Welcome again to Monomac TV. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're not just talking about the world. We are talking about money. We are talking about oil. We are talking about inflation. We are talking about your water. Now we are going to discuss or to analyze how USA, Israel, Iran war could take the global economy. If the tension between the United States, Israel, and Iran escalate into a full-scale war, the consequences will not remain in the Middle East. They will travel through oil markets, through stock exchanges, through central banks, and eventually into daily cost of living. So, the big question is, could a USA and Israel war with Iran destabilize the global economy? Let's break it down step by step. First of all, why this region matters. Iran is not just another country. It sits near one of the most important economic arteries in the world, the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly 20% of world oil passes through that narrow waterway. If conflict blocks or threatens that route, oil supply drops. And when oil supply drops, price rises. It's basic economics. Low supply, high demand, higher prices. You got it? And the oil is not that fuel for cars. Oil, power, transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, airlines, shipping. When oil becomes expensive, everything becomes expensive. Secondly, oil shocks inflation. Let's imagine oil jump to 120 or even $150 per barrel. What happens next? Fuel prices increases, transport cost increase, food price increase, electricity cost increase. This leads to inflation, and inflation reduces purchasing power. In simple terms, your salary buys less, your earning buys less. Countries that are heavily dependent on oil imports, especially in Africa, Europe, and part of Asia, would still not comfortable for this one. Let's continue. In simple terms, government may be forced to subsidize fuels, budget may expand, debt level may rise. And when inflation rises, central banks react. Number uh, let's talk about the central banks and the interest rates. When inflation goes up, central banks raise interest rates. Why? To reduce spending and cool the economy. But higher interest rates may make loans expensive. Business borrow less, consumers borrow less, investment slows down. Economic growth weakens. And if we can, while inflation stay higher, we enter something dangerous. Stage depression, slow growth, high inflation, and the economic pain. Fourth one, stock markets and investor panic. Financial markets do not like uncertainty. Create uncertainty. Investors begin selling risk assets. Stock market make fall. Emerging market may suffer capital outflow. Money moves toward safe havens, gold, US Treasury bonds, the US dollars, and so on. But the volatility increases everywhere. Let's talk about the continue with but volatility increases everywhere. Pension funds, investment portfolio, retirement savings all become exposed to sudden swings. Number five, global trade and supply chain. War in the Middle East could also disrupt shipping routes. Insurance costs for cargo vessels increase. Shipping companies reroute. Delivery times slow down. We saw something similar during COVID-19. Supply chain disruption caused scarcity and scarcity increased price. The world economy total is interconnected. A disruption in one region creates ripple effect global. Six, who suffers most? Developing countries suffer the most. Why? Because they rely heavily on imported fuel, they have weaker currencies, they carry higher debt balance. A strong US dollar during the crisis makes debt payment more expensive. This could trigger financial instability in the fragile economy. In extreme scenarios, some countries could face balance of payment crisis. Number six, could it be cause a global recession? Would it automatically cause a global recession? Not necessarily. But if the war is prolonged, oil supply significantly disrupted, and if financial market panic deeply, then yes, the probability of global slowdown increases significantly. The longer the conflict lasts, the larger economic shock. Let's conclude doing this. So, what is the final takeaway? A war between United States, Israel, and Iran would not that be geopolitical, it would be economy. Oil prices would likely spike, inflation would rise, interest rate could increase, market would become volatile, developing economies would be vulnerable. The world economic is interconnected, and in today's globalized system, no major conflict remains local. The real battlefield may not only be on the ground, it may also be in the financial market, central banks, and the household budget across the world. This is not just about politics, this is about global financial stability. And it is about your money. It is about your money. If you found this analysis valuable, please subscribe to Igajiroso and Boardroom. This is Monomike TV because we do not just discuss event, we analyze impact. See you in the next chapter.